Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at KTALnews.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Morses with your Monday morning forecast update. A lot to keep an eye on this week. Sometimes we get into these summer patterns, it's just hot and dry and not a lot of weather to talk about, but we do have a few storms in the forecast later this evening as well as tonight. Not a cold front, but just one of those cool fronts that will drift in and give us the trigger for some of those thunderstorms, which could bring some wind late tonight. So we'll have an update on that. Hazy sunshine today as we do have that Saharan dust back for a few days and a hot and likely dry 4th of July. So I'll give you a look at the temperatures for your 4th here in just a moment. But your temperatures this morning will start out in the 70s in all areas. And similar to the weekend, we'll warm into the low to mid 90s this afternoon. And we do have the heat index up just slightly above 100 degrees today. So there's no heat advisory today, but there's a pretty good chance we'll see those come back throughout the week here as the heat index each afternoon will push towards 105. We're going to stay likely in the mid to upper 90s here, but we're just going to draw in some more humidity, which will result in those higher heat index numbers as we go through the middle of the week. And you can see the front to the north of us stirred up a few storms overnight in Oklahoma. Those storms will be closer to us later tonight, so there is at least a marginal risk of seeing severe weather. That's just for wind. There's really no expectation that we'll see any kind of hail or any tornado activity here. So just wind and maybe just some brief heavy rainfall for a few locations here. And it looks like some of the storms could pop up maybe closer to sunset. This is our in-house model here, which I would say has a decent handle on things. It's not showing much rain popping up during the day, but later this evening you can see a few of those storms maybe rolling in north of Interstate 30. So again, I would say anywhere between about 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. is when we'll see that window for storms there. And this front will still be with us tomorrow. So with the front draped across the I-20 corridor tomorrow, there's a decent chance at least that we could see some redevelopment of some of those storms. Not looking severe tomorrow, but hopefully we can get some daytime rain going just to keep these temperatures a little cooler. And you'll notice the haze today. Of course, the Saharan dust is back with us. We deal with this, it seems like every few weeks during the summer here. Not our first time dealing with it already this year, but you can see some of the haze that will likely be with us through the middle of the week. It's not the thickest plume of dust that we've ever seen here before, but if you do have some allergies the next few days, it may be very well due to some of this dust, which can bring some allergens over from the coast of Africa that we're not really used to dealing with here. So if you're wheezing or sneezing just a bit, it may have something to do with the dust. So just limit your time outside and enjoy the air conditioning inside as much as possible here. And I did want to give you the look at your 4th of July forecast. Doesn't look like we'll see any rain out there. If you're out grilling or headed out to the lakes during the day, we'll likely see temperatures in the 90s. Sunset will be just after 8 p.m. there, but for the fireworks show, expecting temperatures will likely be in the 80s Friday evening there. To look at your 7-day forecast, just shows us in the mid 90s here. So again, some heat advisories will be likely as high pressure takes over later this week. I turn the rainfall off on Thursday and keep us dry through the weekend, but it is possible we may see just those very slight rain chances even late this week and into the weekend. But we're locked into the 90s with overnight lows in the 70s.